On February 27, 2023, to the scientists working on the asteroid research program, they found an asteroid orbiting the Sun, and its orbit shocked everyone. Even major space agencies like National Aeronautics and Space Administration and European Space Agency have expressed concern about this asteroid. And there is also talk of conducting detailed research on this asteroid. This asteroid was discovered only a short time ago, but because of its orbit, it is trending on the near-Earth hazardous scale. On the Palermo scale, which is managed by the European Space Agency, it is ranked among the top. According to the current calculations by the European Space Agency, the asteroid named 2023 DW could collide with Earth on February 14, 2046. For them, this is the story of an asteroid, so it really could collide with our Earth. How should we deal with this? Do we need to be afraid, and what do we want? This asteroid impact could become a real danger in the future. Let's find out in today's video. About 23 years from now, on February 14, 2046, Valentine's Day 2023, DW asteroid. Ever since this asteroid was discovered, it has constantly remained under the observation of scientists. National Aeronautics and Space Administration says that they are closely tracking it so that precise readings of its orbit can be taken. Although it is trending on the Torino and Palermo scales, according to space agencies, the chances of it colliding with Earth are very low. An Italian astronomer, Piero Siccoli, conducted a thought experiment and tried to determine through his calculations where this asteroid might land if it actually collided with Earth, and he shared his results on Twitter. However, he clearly mentioned that the chances of it colliding are very low, and with further observations, we will be able to rule out even those chances. But just look at this map. Almost the entire United States could be affected by it, and our beloved India could also face trouble. Even if it falls into the ocean, the coastal areas will have to face a massive tsunami. Well, for now, it's too early to say anything, and we're not going to make any catastrophic predictions here because this asteroid isn't that big. The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs was about 10 kilometers in diameter, but according to current calculations, this one is only about 50 meters in diameter. The asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs was the size of a large city, but this one is said to be only as big as a swimming pool. It is orbiting the Sun, and its orbital period is about 271 days, and in this way, the asteroid passes by Venus, passing very close to the Earth. Now, whenever there is talk of an asteroid or meteor impact anywhere, the hazard scale is quite commonly mentioned, although these words may sound quite heavy, but these scales represent the danger to Earth caused by any object or near-Earth object that is near-Earth object. Like we mentioned, two scales at the beginning, the Palermo scale and the Torino scale. The Palermo scale is a logarithmic scale, which is mostly used by astronomers for scientific purposes. The values on this scale usually range from +2 to -2 and even lower. If an astronomer's value on the Palermo scale is +2, it means that the chances of that astronomer colliding with Earth are 100 times higher. The lower this value is, the lower the chances of impact will be. Let me tell you that on the Palermo scale, the value of 99942 Apophis asteroid is 1.1, which shows how dangerous Apophis is for Earth. However, the Palermo rating of 2023 DW is -2.17. On the other hand, there is the Torino scale, which is a simplified version of the scientific scale. It is designed with color codes so that the general public can easily understand it. The ratings on the Torino scale range from 0 to 10. 0 means the white zone, which means there is no danger. Then comes number 1, which is the green zone, meaning the danger is almost negligible. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 on the scale fall into the attention zone. They are represented by the color yellow. Here, those asteroids are placed whose chances of collision are 1% or higher, but this doesn't have much effect on our Earth. Then comes the threatening orange zone, which represents numbers 5, 6, and 7. Such asteroids collide once in hundreds of years, and we need to pay attention to them. At this level, governmental planning becomes very important, and such threats can completely destroy any country. And then comes the red zone of numbers 8, 9 and 10, that is, this level. Such threats are seen only once in a few thousand years. Any asteroid with this rating can wipe out the entire human race from the Earth. A global climate catastrophe is certain if they collide. So this is the Torino scale, which even a common person can easily understand. Recently, the highest value on the Torino scale has been given to Apophis, which was rated 4 on the Torino scale. The 2023 DW asteroid is currently at number 1 on the Torino scale, but this value has been given based on 7 or 8 days of observation, which are a total of 62 observations. Scientists believe that we are still in the initial phase of studying it, but as we continue to study it further, the uncertainties related to it will also decrease. And on the Torino scale, it could even come down to 0, which would mean that Valentine's Day in 2046 won't be ruined. But it's not like asteroid impacts don't happen these days. There are several asteroid impacts recorded in history that have happened recently. About 50,000 years ago, a meteor of almost the same size as this asteroid collided with the Earth. This created a crater that can still be seen in Arizona today, and from this we can estimate how devastating the destruction must have been. It created a crater about 570 feet deep and nearly 1 kilometer in diameter. About 114 years ago, on June 30, 1908, an asteroid fell on Russia's Tunguska River. This collision released about 12 megatons of energy. It burned and destroyed about 80 million trees spread over an area of 2,150 kilometers. This asteroid was also only about 50 to 60 meters in size. On February 15, 2013, a meteor was seen blazing over the Chelyabinsk region of Russia, shining even brighter than the sun in the morning. This meteor exploded in the atmosphere itself, releasing about 500 kilotons of energy. The blast was heard up to 26 kilometers away. Around 1,500 people were seriously injured and 7,200 buildings were badly damaged. And this asteroid was only 20 meters in size, but the energy it released was about 30 times greater than the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. Although we know that many such asteroids have collided with Earth even before this, only a few of these events have been witnessed by humans with their own eyes. We can't say that this won't happen again in the future, but we can definitely prepare ourselves to deal with those dangers. And it's also certain that if not today, then someday humanity will have to face this problem. Whether it's the 2023 DW asteroid or any other asteroid, they just keep reminding us that there is something greater than humans, and we should not forget that. There's no need to be afraid of this upcoming asteroid. But we can take this as a preparation or as an opportunity where we can test our own capabilities to see how prepared we really are if something like this actually happens in the future. A huge object the size of the Eiffel Tower is rapidly heading towards our Earth at a speed even faster than a bullet fired from a gun. And when it gets close to Earth, it will pass right between our satellites and come extremely close to our planet. Seriously, we're not talking about the scene from a sci-fi movie here. This is going to be a real event not long from now. In just a few years, it has its own name, and maybe you should remember it once again. Apophis. But the danger we face from this asteroid, how much of a real danger will it actually be? Is this asteroid really going to collide with our Earth? And if yes, then how much damage is it actually going to cause us? Could this be like that great destruction which wiped out the dinosaurs from the Earth millions of years ago? And the most important question is, if we know so much about it, then what exactly are our scientists doing to save us from this massive disaster? Since the discovery of Apophis in 2004, it has kept astronomers on high alert. This asteroid was named Apophis after the Egyptian god of chaos and destruction, and in some ways, this asteroid actually justifies that name. This asteroid has always been a warning for us that even though space may look completely calm, but the reality is that we live in such a cosmic neighborhood where it's considered our good fortune that our children can even live here. We are surrounded by dangers that can wipe us out in an instant. But what if the threat of Apophis also becomes real? Then what? In today's video, we will learn in detail about this disaster that's coming in 2029. Apophis, whose official name is 9942 Apophis, is an asteroid that is classified as a near-Earth object or near-Earth object. This massive space rock is about 370 meters in diameter, which is almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower, and its weight is an astonishing 20 million tons. If you compare it, it's like gathering all the skyscrapers in a city and combining them into one giant skyscraper. And that huge chunk, which is heading towards Earth at a speed of about 25,000 miles per hour, is Apophis. Since its discovery in 2004 by astronomers at Kitt Peak National Observatory in Arizona, Apophis has become the most closely studied and monitored asteroid in history. But why? Because the astronomers' initial observations indicated that this asteroid had about a 2.7% chance of colliding with Earth in 2029. And that's why the entire scientific community was shaken. However, after that, many more researches were conducted on this asteroid, which ruled out the possibility of it colliding with Earth in 2029. But even after that, Apophis still remains a serious danger for us. The danger of it colliding with Earth has been averted, but even now, its path in space passes very close to us. Even a slight change in its orbit can completely alter its path. Because of this, in the future, the chances of it colliding with Earth could increase again. If we look at it, there are countless asteroids present in space right now, but among them, Apophis scares us the most, and that's because it has the potential to bring destruction to Earth. We can't predict its future trajectories, which is why it's very important to keep a close watch on it. And the biggest thing is that it's not just an asteroid, but actually the largest near-Earth object present around our planet. And its future and our future are somehow connected. The 2029 close approach, mark this date in your calendars, April 2029. Because on this day, Apophis is going to make a close approach to Earth. This approach will be very close. In the context of space, close means just barely passing by, and I really mean it. Apophis will pass by Earth at a distance of 31,000 kilometers on that day. This distance is so small that it will pass through the region where many satellites are located. This event will be so amazing that it will be visible from many parts of the world, including several regions of Europe, Africa, and Asia. This asteroid will be visible passing through the night sky and can even be seen with the naked eye. You can imagine how thrilling it would be to see a rocky chunk as big as a skyscraper passing over your head, but it would also be scary. But the good news for us is that scientists have already ruled out an impact in 2029, but the bad news is that a close approach in 2029 is certain. And this event will alter Apophis's future orbit in such a way that predicting its orbit will become next to impossible. When this asteroid comes close to Earth, Earth's gravity will pull it towards itself, causing a slight change in its trajectory. And scientists believe that this slight change could cause it to collide with our Earth in the future. Maybe in 2036 or in its later close approaches, although the chances of impact in 2039 are almost negligible. Still, this asteroid will continue to remain on the radar of scientific communities. Because even if the chances are low, the situations that could arise from it cannot be ignored under any circumstances. Apophis is going to be the asteroid that will pass closest to Earth in recorded history. And for scientists, this will be a huge opportunity to study this asteroid from such a close distance. But in a way, this close approach is also a reminder for us of how fragile our existence is in the cosmos. What if Apophis actually hit Earth? Let's talk about the worst case scenario. If Apophis actually collided with Earth, what would really happen if that happened? This collision would release about 1,200 megatons of energy. For comparison, the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima only released 15 kilotons of energy. This means that the impact of Apophis would be equal to the power of 80,000 Hiroshima bombs. If Apophis collides with the Earth's surface, entire cities will be destroyed. Everything within a 50 to 100 kilometer radius will be instantly wiped out. Buildings, infrastructure, and even the landscape will fall victim to this collision. The force of the impact will be so great that earthquake tremors will be felt all over the Earth, and even volcanoes could be seen erupting. Not only that, if Apophis collides with the ocean, a massive tsunami will be waiting to swallow the entire coastline. Such a shock wave will be felt in all the oceans of the Earth. The waves formed at the impact site will be hundreds of meters high, crashing into the coastline with unimaginable force. If we compare the magnitude of this event with historical impacts, the Chicxulub asteroid, which wiped out the dinosaurs about 66 million years ago, was much larger than Apophis. Apophis does have the power to wipe out all of human civilization, but the destruction at the impact site and surrounding areas would be so great that we have neither seen nor imagined such devastation before. The true scale of this devastation would shock us all, and the impact on the entire world would be extremely dangerous. The Earth would be filled with dust and debris, which would completely block the sunlight from reaching the surface. Without sunlight, our Earth could experience a short-term cooling effect similar to a nuclear winter. And this is not a good sign for humans. Thankfully, this isn't the plot of some Hollywood movie where people just wait for the impact. Our human civilization has been preparing to deal with this kind of asteroid impact for a long time. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, its Planetary Defense Coordination Office, is at the forefront of tracking such hazardous NEOs, near-Earth objects, so that we can develop better strategies to deal with them. National Aeronautics and Space Administration has been continuously tracking Apophis since its discovery, thanks to advanced technology. Today, we have a clear idea of this asteroid's trajectory. We have known about it for decades, and tracking it is just the beginning. National Aeronautics and Space Administration is working on technology that will deflect this asteroid before it can collide with Earth. Let's be real, can we really face Apophis? At the local level, there's no doubt that the impact will be devastating and the entire surrounding area will be immediately destroyed. However, the loss of life and property will still depend on where the asteroid impacts. So, should we really be worried about Apophis, especially since there's no chance of it hitting us? The answer is yes, and I'll explain why. Space is unpredictable. Although astronomers have calculated that Apophis will not collide with Earth in 2029, but the close approaches that will happen in the future, like in 2036 and after that, its orbit or trajectory cannot be predicted there. Even a slight change in its trajectory can change the entire future of Earth. Apart from this, Apophis is not the only asteroid we should be worried about. There could be many such asteroids in space right now that are a direct threat to our Earth, but we haven't been able to find them yet. At the very least, Apophis can help us prepare to deal with such threats. Apophis is not the kind of asteroid that would wipe out the entire Earth or humanity, but it is definitely a serious reminder for us that we are not at all immune to threats coming from space. There is no way to know when or from where a disaster might strike. The good thing is that we are prepared. Whether it's Apophis or any other disaster, we humans have always tried to understand this universe in this way. This ticking clock is telling us that time is slipping out of our hands. We have only 24 hours left. An asteroid is going to collide with our Earth, and its target is a very big city, Ganya Vadibala. The asteroid is rapidly approaching Earth, and people on Earth are completely unaware of this impending danger, busy with their daily routines. The asteroid is 6 kilometers in diameter, and when it collides, the destruction it will cause will be catastrophic. But what will the situation be like on Earth in the last 24 hours before the impact? How will governments respond to this sudden disaster? Will scientists be able to stop it? And what will happen to ordinary people? When they realize that there is no way to escape now, they will have to face it. This is not a drill. In this video, we will present to you the terrifying picture of the final moments 24 hours before an asteroid collides with Earth. We are about to experience that panic, fear, and ultimate destruction up close. At the end of this video, ask yourself, if this scenario were real, how would you spend your last day? Asteroids have hit this Earth before and it will happen again, but what if one was about to hit us in the next 24 hours? Let's start the countdown to the impact. 24 hours before impact, it all started with a discovery. Astronomers had been trying to track a large asteroid for weeks, but the asteroid was hidden behind the moon. But suddenly, one night, the radars caught the lurking asteroid. The asteroid had come so close that scientists were shocked to see it. What the calculations showed was only destruction and terror. It's going to collide directly with our Earth in 24 hours. The asteroid is so big that its impact will cause destruction on a large scale. This asteroid is going to hit New York, America. Scientists immediately informed government agencies about this. National Aeronautics and Space Administration, the European Space Agency, Indian Space Research Organization, China National Space Administration, and even the United Nations spring into action. But there are only 24 hours left until the collision. In such a situation, there is no time left to launch a mission to divert or destroy it. Because the asteroid has come so close to Earth that such a mission won't be able to stop it, and a mission can't be launched in such a hurry either. The reality becomes even clearer to everyone. This asteroid will definitely collide with Earth and no one can stop it. Our technology, our intelligence, all became useless. Within minutes of the asteroid impact being confirmed, this warning is delivered to all the leaders of the world. For New York and for more than half of the world's population, these 24 hours are going to be the last 24 hours of their lives. That's why an emergency message is broadcast to the general public. The message was simple but also frightening. A city-killer giant asteroid is going to collide with Earth in the next 24 hours. If you can evacuate, do it quickly. Take shelter in a safe place and be prepared for the impact. Soon people panicked after hearing this. They couldn't believe what they had just heard. How could something like this even happen? People were thinking that in this infinite universe, Earth is a very small target for an asteroid, and how could such a coincidence happen? But the truth was absolutely clear in front of everyone. And as this news kept spreading, an atmosphere of fear spread throughout the world. People going to the office, people stepping out of their homes, first started calling their families to confirm this news, started asking about their family's well-being. There was so little time that wherever people were outside their homes, they started asking about the situation in the city. People were going so that they could take their families and leave this city. The same message was broadcast by other countries around the world to their people as well. There was an atmosphere of fear everywhere, and there was a strange silence in the sky. People were getting scared seeing this calmness in the sky. The governments are organizing evacuations in an orderly manner, but it's not possible to save everyone in the impact zone. Here, everyone has to make quick decisions. Time is running out. Either leave that place and look for shelter somewhere far away, or watch the asteroid fall right in front of your eyes. 18 hours before impact, countdowns are running everywhere. Governments around the world have sprung into action. Orders have been given to evacuate the city in the impact zone, but because of this, there is chaos, disorder, and anarchy everywhere in the city. The highways look like parking lots. Some people want to go home to pick up their loved ones, while others are fleeing the city. Millions of people are stuck on the highways. Public transportation is in a terrible state and the crowds are out of control. Millions of people are rushing towards the airports, but because the seats are full, the airports have also been shut down. Now it has become clear that there isn't enough time to evacuate everyone. This is making people even angrier. Everyone wants to save themselves and their families. Riots are also being seen in many places. The national military is deployed for the evacuation, but even they get overwhelmed seeing the scale of this operation. Emergency services are used to their limits to maintain law and order in the city. But the fear is so intense that riots break out in several places. This time, the government is warning people outside the impact zone. Anyone who is outside the impact zone should quickly move to a safe place. Look for underground bunkers because after the impact, you will face the shockwave. Staying in houses is not safe because the shockwave will destroy everything. A tsunami warning has been issued for people living in coastal areas. The damage from this collision won't be limited to just the impact site, but the entire globe will be affected by it. Meanwhile, leaders around the world are appealing to people to remain calm, but the truth is that they all know they can't do anything. Behind the scenes, politicians hold urgent meetings with scientists and discuss the worst-case scenarios. They talk about allocating resources in the right direction, but now less than 18 hours are left. Time is slipping away. The American government wants to save a few people in its most secure military bases and bunkers so that they can be protected from this disaster. These are the people who will give a new future to human civilization. In this way, experts from every field are selected. People are airlifted and brought to special bunkers built to survive such disasters. Behind the scenes, only those people are brought in, even if it means bringing someone from a family but leaving the children behind. Urgent meetings with scientists are discussed. The efforts and problems of evacuation are being continuously shown. People in India are shocked after seeing all this on television. They have realized the seriousness of the situation. Like wildfire, the entire country is now in a serious condition. Behind this, the most populous country has left their homes and come out on the streets in search of safe places. About 12 hours before the impact, the whole world has been informed. Scientists are making urgent efforts together. They are all scared, they are all in panic because their clock is frightening them. Just 12 hours before the impact, behind the scenes, politicians have been gripped by this fear. Just like the news keeps repeating the same question over and over again, urgent meetings are being discussed. Organizations are constantly making detailed predictions about what impact this could have, which places are safe, and the projected impact zone map is shown on television. People are being given live updates about the entire sequence of events. Meanwhile, the asteroid is heading towards Earth at a speed of 30,000 km per hour. Behind the scenes, politicians are with scientists, and it will release many times more energy. People react differently when they see this disaster approaching. Meetings are being discussed. It goes on. They gather in churches, temples, mosques, and gurdwaras and pray that their God performs a miracle and saves this earth. At the same time, some people are discussing behind the scenes with politicians and scientists that there has been some mistake with the cause. Meanwhile, some people discuss these upcoming meetings and start preparing to face the end. Social media becomes the digital diary of the last few hours of this world. People post their final goodbyes to their friends, relatives, and the whole world. Some people post to encourage others. Behind the scenes, urgent meetings of the politicians are being discussed. Hashtags like your final day and your asteroid strike flood the internet. People post all kinds of photos and messages, and some people want to reach the whole world by live streaming what's happening behind the scenes. The economic system wants politicians to spend time with scientists and their presentations. Discuss the meetings. As time passes on the whole earth, behind the scenes, politicians discuss urgent meetings with scientists and come forward to help. But deep down, everyone knows that these are their last attempts. Whether their lives or anyone else's are saved or not, they have to try. There are only 6 hours left before the impact. The situation is becoming even more intense now. Many people who couldn't get out of the city have accepted that now there's nothing left to save them. It's happening. Behind the scenes, politicians are having urgent discussions with scientists. Families gather together in their homes. They make confessions and, forgetting all grievances, want to live those last moments to the fullest. They try to comfort each other. Some people don't stay in their homes but go out to rooftops and open fields to watch the approaching asteroid in the hope that their final moments will be peaceful. Yet some people, even knowing this, hide behind the scenes and in basements. They are with their families, with scientists. Urgent meetings are discussed. The neighbors who were always fighting and arguing, on this day, one of them opened the doors of his basement for everyone. The neighbors were seen helping each other with food and water supplies. In these last few hours, communities come together and get ready to face this disaster together. Now this world is no longer the same as it was about 18 hours ago. Because of this panic, in many places people were seen breaking the law and order and looting. People were looting big stores, shops and warehouses so that they could survive in bunkers for a long time. Some opportunistic people are committing thefts in homes, but maybe they don't realize how dangerous this threat is going to be. The police force seems to be weak in front of such a large crowd of people. They are unable to do anything except watch this chaos unfold as people create havoc on the streets. Meanwhile, in the last few hours, religious leaders gather a large number of people to deliver sermons urging them to remain calm and religion. Because of this panic, in many places, people were seen breaking the law and order. They keep patrolling. This panic was also seen affecting the universe and the human civilization living in it in many places. For some people, this is a time to look within themselves. They remember their lives, recall their good and bad deeds, and wish to surrender themselves to God. But for some people, this is a time of fear, anxiety, and panic. Seeing death approach, they have become frantic. Scientists in labs all over the world are still working tirelessly. They are calculating. They're looking for some last-minute variable that can show a ray of hope in this whole game of terror. Isn't it possible that in the final moments, people might break the law and order in many places out of desperation? And billions of people from all over the world have also come to save our planet. But there are less than 6 hours left. Because of this panic, efforts were being wasted in many places. The ray of hope was now starting to fade. Breaking through the order, there was only 1 hour left on the clock. Now that gigantic asteroid is clearly visible in the sky, it's very bright and rapidly approaching Earth, its size increasing with every minute. They start showing live footage of this terrifying incoming asteroid, and scientists explain the asteroid's progress in real time. Everyone knows what will happen in the next hour. Along with those serving, television reporters and other ordinary people were also seen breaking down in this disaster. Because of this panic, law and order was broken in many places. They came to sacrifice their lives completely. In this final hour, a strange silence spreads over the area of the impact site. Birds start flying in the sky as if they know that the end is certain. Animals start coming out of the forests and running towards the cities. Near the impact site, people gather on rooftops out of fear. They gather together, breaking the law and order, looking at the sky. Some people, out of fear, hold each other's hands. Children are scared and anxious. Some people are standing silently, while some want to spend their last moments sitting with their families at home. There is one thing common among all the people. Everyone knows that this is bound to happen. Everyone is ready for a big explosion. People all over the world are watching the event live. Everyone knows that after the impact, a shockwave will come. The debris from the Earth and the asteroid will rain down from the sky like death, and it will strike the whole world with its devastation. They have already predicted the global impact winter of this terror, where dust, soil, and explosions were seen breaking the law and order in many places. This will destroy the crops. Without sunlight, the entire ecosystem collapses, and in this panic, law and order continue to break down. In just a few minutes, we will face our greatest fear. An asteroid is about to hit. Don't panic. Hide wherever you can find space. Don't waste time trying to reach a safe place. After the impact, more than half of us will die. We pray. Because of this terror, many worlds will be rebuilt. We are all prepared for this impact. But we pray out loud and have God's blessings. Some people gather with their loved ones. They all wait to spend those final moments together. In that one moment, in that one explosion, it's as if the whole world holds its breath in those final few seconds. There is collision after collision. Because of this panic, law and order is broken in many places. The people nearby must have lost their senses as soon as they heard it. They were seen. They didn't get time to think or even to react. The human brain's reaction time is about 100-120 milliseconds. Before their brain could process anything or think anything, they were instantly vaporized. The energy released by this impact was something we humans had never seen before. It was tearing through the ground. It was a shockwave that destroyed everything in its path for hundreds of kilometers. Buildings collapsed, forests were completely devastated, and there was nothing left on the ground except scenes of destruction. The shockwave was moving at supersonic speed, meaning it was reaching distant cities even before the sound of the impact could be heard. There was no one left there to witness this terrifying scene. Everyone had already fallen victim to that asteroid. After a while, when the intensity of the shockwave decreased, the real destruction began. From the impact site, fragments of Earth's debris and pieces of the asteroid were thrown into the sky. This was hot lava, which was now about to rain down on cities, homes, and people hiding. The entire sky was filled with dust and dirt. Fire spread through the forest, causing animals to burn and die. Humans could not survive this disaster. Everyone nearby perished in this catastrophe. Shockwaves were seen even before they were heard. Due to the earthquake in the sea, the waves were reaching the cities. The shock was now beginning to move forward to engulf everything. The collision happened at one place, but its impact was seen all over the world. The sunlight could not reach the surface of the earth for years, which caused the temperature of the earth to drop suddenly. Global impact winters had arrived, crops started to fail, and the surviving animals began to die one by one. But the humans who managed to survive this disaster now faced an even greater problem. Their future was hanging in the balance, and they were now facing a much bigger crisis. Apart from shockwave winters, before the food chain and ecosystem could collapse, the shockwave had already started to consume everything in its path. You will get the answer to this in the upcoming episodes. The scenario we saw today may seem like the plot of a science fiction movie to a child, but asteroid impacts are a reality. Ask yourself, what would you do if you were in these circumstances? Be sure to share your reaction with us in the comment section below. If you like this video, be sure to like it and share it with your friends. For more informative videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and enable the bell notification. Friends, we'll meet again soon with another new informative video like this. Until then, stay curious, be happy, and goodbye.